they get us. If they don't, they just miss. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2020 Glenwood Gator football season. This is going to be a very interesting season, just like the whole world is interesting right now. First time I've ever seen one single ball player come out for a coin toss. I'm here with Ron Frazier tonight as we're calling this game, and I'm going to turn it over to Ron and let him give you a little rundown of what we see and look for this year in the Glenwood Gators football season. Ron?
Well, thank you very much, Tim. And we can see Kai Robichaud is going to take the coin toss for Glenwood. And Kai was actually a great rusher last year, had like 15 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards, but wasn't a factor in the playoff game last year because of injuries. He essentially caught 2 passes out of the backfield, and that was it. The main offense was Bryce Newman for Glenwood in that championship game, and of course Bryce is no longer here. Lucky for Glenwood, several of the players that are on Bessemer are not here also, that have either moved or have graduated or gone, but unfortunately some of them are still there. One of those is Joshua McMillan. He ran for, well, he's gone. He had 155 yards, but Jarvis Dancy, number 1, is back. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown. And their quarterback, who threw for 150 yards and 2 long touchdowns. P.J. McDonald is also back, and the 2 guys he threw the touchdowns to are back as well. So their offense is loaded. The question will be what Glenwood will do with their quarterback position and what we'll do as far as their running game is concerned. So there are some new faces, and we were hoping that those new faces will be able to produce some solid results on offense.
And here come your Glenwood Gators.
And as you can hear, there's a lot of excitement. There were a lot of people who about 30 days ago didn't know we were going to have football.
Hey.
And so I am talking to you right now with a mask over my face, and I'm just glad that we were able to have competition, and everybody seems to be taking care and being careful, and that's all that you can ask. So we should have an exciting game tonight, and let's just hope that Glenwood's defense can make that first tackle and move the ball on offense.
All right, Ron, I appreciate that. And as we line up for the kickoff here, Bessemer will be kicking to Glenwood. Glenwood will receive on the far end of the field. We've got number 19 of the Gators, Jim McCule Sinclair. Sinclair looks like he's got a large family sitting down below us here. They all have jerseys on to represent him. And there's a pooch kick, and it comes up short to Robichaud, catches it. And he turns it up the middle. He gets it out to about the 40. He's down to about the 45. And Robichaud will be brought down around the 47-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. They may be closer to the 48 or 49.
That was Beecham.
Was that Beecham? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You did catch me there, Ron. Thank you. My eyes are terrible, guys. Y'all forgive me for that. Thought that was a 7 and it was a 1. All right. So Robichaud lines up in backfield, halfback. Quarterback sets in. There's a snap. We have a fake. Rolls out to the left. Nobody there, and he tucks it to run, but it looks like we're going to have a flag on the play. It's probably going to be holding. Looks like it's going to be Andrew Call,
50.
number 50. My eyes are terrible. Will Graham.
Yes, 9 took it under and had a nice gain there, but part of the nice gain was probably because number 50 grabbed a hold of him. So unfortunately, we're going to have the bad part of that is it's the 42-yard line, so it's at that. So it's actually going to be more than 10 yards because it was behind the line.
You know, and I believe that's going to be one of the problems Coach Gibson was speaking about. He only had 1 returning lineman on the offensive line. So we'll see some of that, some of those mistakes. Hopefully we'll work through them real quick, work them out real quick.
Gotta move the down marker. Move the down marker.
Yes, we're having a little delay with the down marker. These guys do volunteer their time, so can't be too harsh on them, but they do need to be where the action is, so to speak.
Griner lines the Gators up somewhere around the 33-yard line. There's the snap. He fakes the Robichaud middle, and Griner runs it. He's got another flag on the far side of the field. Griner carries it down to about the original line of scrimmage. We'll see which way it's going. It's going to be all sides against the Gators. That's going to move us back another 5 yards. Griner brings them back to the line of scrimmage.
So they're 21 yards back, and they haven't run a play that's counted yet, so that's not good.
Maybe that just opened the field up for them to...
There you go.
have a good play here. There's
Oh.
all sides
Boink.
right there on Bessemer. We'll take 5 of that back. We've run 3 plays and we still have.
Don't mean to laugh, but we've still got 11 minutes on the clock because we can't get a play off. That's 3 penalties in a row.
Griner brings them the line of scrimmage. There's a snap. He fakes to Robichaud, keeps it himself. Oh, he like the broke loop, but he's brought down by number 35 of Bessemer around the 40-yard line. If he would have gotten by there, he would have been off to the races.
Well,
We're on about the 41-yard line, 2nd down, and we'll call that a long 17.
Well, one of the guys that they lost on defense last year was L.T. Overton, and he was all everything. He has actually moved to Georgia and is playing 7A ball. So
there's a fake to Robichaud. Griner keeps it. He breaks a couple of tackles, still going, and he's down close to a 1st down, but he's going to be shy about a yard and a half. And we'll see what Coach Gibson decides to do. Will be 3rd down and a long yard and a half. Big play right there. Brings the Gators back into a realistic area. So we've actually had good runs on the 2 plays that actually counted.
Oh, and you know, you couldn't have asked for anything more after that terrible start. So let's hope they can get that 1st down and keep going.
There's offsides on Bessemer. We'll take that free 5 yards. That'll get us an automatic 1st down. Move the ball to about the 38-yard line of Bessemer. And be 1st down.
First and 10. At the rebel 38-yard line.
We've actually had more yardage by penalties than we have by running the ball at this point. Here we go. Griner brings them back to the line of scrimmage. Backfield empties out a little bit. He's got Robichaud alone in the backfield, motion. We're handing off to Ron Beaucamp. Ron gets 3 or 4 yards before he's knocked out of bounds on about the 33-yard line.
Well, it's a good pickup of 5 yards. That was a nice kind of a end-around tailback sweep.
We'll take 5 yards every play all night long, won't we?
Yes, sir. You gave 5.
Griner brings the Gators back to the line of scrimmage. Once again with backfield empty except for Robichaud. There's a snout. He looks to the right. He throws it to the left to Beaucamp. Beaucamp makes a move, and he picks up another 1st down for the Gators. Moves the ball down around the 25-yard line. They're going to mark it right on the 25.
Down to the 25-yard for another Glenwood 1st down.
So that's the first pass of the night, and right on the mark. So we're going to have 1st down on the 25-yard line. Gators fill the backfield back up this time. Beaucamp in motion. There's a handoff to Robichaud right up the middle, and he's going to hit a hard 5 yards. He's down to the 20-yard line. That will make it 2nd down and 5. Once again, we'll take 5 yards all night long.
So far, that's the shortest run they've had of the night. It's 5 yards, and that'll win you some ball games if you can keep it up.
You are correct, Ron. If the shortest run you have is consistently 5 yards, you're on the good side of the ball. Griner brings them back to the line of scrimmage. Robichaud moves to the right. There's the snap. He fakes and he tosses it to the corner. And we do get a pass interference on Bessemer down around the goal line.
I suspect you could pretty well tell that since the guy grabbed his jersey and literally pulled it away from him. He couldn't have missed that. I believe that's number 2. That was Tony Maple, who did play last year. And he was definitely held for pass interference. I think in high school it's a yardage, right?
That was 10 yards. He stepped off.
And an automatic first down.
Automatic first down is going to be first and goal to go. Are we on the inside of the 10? I couldn't tell. It's going to be first and 10 on about the 10 and inches. And there's Robichaud. Makes a few moves and he will cross. Touchdown, Glenwood Gators. Now, we didn't start the game off just the way they wanted to, but they sure did get it kicked in high gear real quick. And recap there again, if I'm right, Ron, the shortest run we had was 5 yards.
That is correct.
We'll take that average all night long. So we line up with Garrett to keep extra point.
All right. Yeah, number 21 had himself a little break there, but he's back in it now.
Cam was celebrating a little bit too much, maybe, so. Up. We're going to have a flag. It's probably going to be delay of game. No, offsides.
Illegal procedure against Glenwood.
The Gators. Back it up 5.
You know, for some kickers that would be an issue, but with Garrett kicking that, 5 yards is not a big deal. He can still kick it from there. But
There's
no.
a snap. There's a kick. It's up and it is good. So Garrett Hall puts the extra point on the board, makes it score 7-0. Glenwood on top of Bessemer early in the game with 7 minutes and 27 seconds left on the board. Now, Ron, let's go back to last year. We lost to Bessemer twice last year.
Correct.
He put a good one on down in Troy in the state playoff game, state championship game. How does this compare, this first series of downs for the Gators compared to last year?
There's really no comparison. Glenwood could not move the ball very well at all, and were really, behind the times the whole time last year. And in addition, on the regular season game, they had too many turnovers. That's what killed them there. But in the championship game, Bessemer jumped on them early. Their running game was just couldn't be stopped, and so that opened up the 2 long passes really, because they had 2 100-yard rushers.
Wow!
So one of those guys is gone, and it's going to be interesting to see.
There's a pooch kick, and he's going to fair catch it around the 25.
No, 35. It's about
35.
To the 34.
I'm sorry, I went the wrong way. 35. They'll mark it on the 34. Be first and 10 for Bessemer, starting on their own 34-yard line. We had a lot better starting position than they did for our first series of downs.
We're going to pooch it all night. We're not kicking it deep.
Mm-hmm.
So Ethan's not going to kick.
You kicked out.
I'm talking about Crawl.
You kicked out.
That was 25. Okay.
He's 17, put it on the 10.
Bessemer lines up,
Okay.
34-yard line. There's a snap, hands off to number 1, and he's run down from behind by number
55.
55. Number 55 of the Gators. That's Colton Dempsey.
And that's Jarvis Dancy for them.
Number 55, Colton Dempsey on the tackle.
Can you get
Are you ready? I got it.
Number 1, Jarvis Dempsey on the carry. Also 1 on the play, second down and 11.
Bessemer loses 1 on that attempt around the end. It's going to be second down and 11 as they come to the line of scrimmage. Gator reads the offense, sets up their defense. There's the snap. There's the handoff in the backfield, makes a couple of moves, and he bounces it out. And it looks like he's going to bounce it out for about 9 yards, maybe 10 yards. Going to be a little short of the first down. That's Dancy again of Bessemer that picks up those 10 yards. We'll call it third down and a short yard, half yard.
He's a quick back. You have to be ready to tackle.
He accelerated very quickly once he hit the line of scrimmage and on that one. You know, Bessemer is traditionally in the state playoffs every year. It's they always have a very stout team, and the Gators have last several years under Gibson have really been producing. Look at that! Look at that gaining tackle. We're going to drop them for a loss for at least 5.
Uh-oh, we have an injury.
And we have an injury player down on the field.
Cam Carpenter.
Looks like Cam Carpenter of the Gators. It's going to bring up fourth down and a long 5.
That did not look like Dancy carrying the ball, but because it was on that side, I never picked up the number. But I think it
I don't believe it was Dancy.
It was.
It was? So we've run him down twice from behind. We caught him in the backfield rather twice. So
He danced both times. He just didn't get the line of scrimmage like he did on that one longer run.
yeah. Well, he's got
Bessemer
moves.
will line up to kick this one away. Gators hope to receive it somewhere around the 30-yard line. Not sure about this kicker. Ron, you got any information on him?
Do not.
There's a snap. It's a high snap. He has to go up and get it. He has to kick it high to get it over the defender, and it takes hits about the 35-yard line, but takes a Bessemer bounce, runs down to about the 18-yard line of the Gators. So Gators will take over the ball for their second series of downs on their own 18-yard line. We started around the 45 last time, had a couple of hiccups, but accelerated fast after that. Picked up 7 points, held Bessemer to 3 and out. And let's see what the Gators have in their bag for this series of downs.
They have an excellent kicker that I was expecting to be a guy named there's Charles Adcock, and he was very good in the playoff, but that was not the punter. And they usually have him do the guy's
There's
name
a
was
snap.
Jackson Stewart, but he's not there.
Brandon rolls to the right, and he steps up and throws it out in the pocket. Oh! Hit him in a bad spot. Right in the hands. That one should have been brought down for a first down. Beautiful throw by Griner.
Could have been targeted too.
Tony let that one slip through his hands. I think he was trying to run before he caught the ball. He was so wide open. But I'm sure he'll make it up here in just a few minutes. We'll get another shot at that. Griner rolled out, had all day long to throw that ball. Good coverage. Griner brings them back to the line of scrimmage. There's a snap. There's a fake handoff. Griner's going to roll it out to the right, and he's going to avoid 2 tackles. And he gets hit down around the 41-yard line where he's brought down after making a first down. Took a tough hit. He was being held at his lower body and hit up top by a second defender. That will be a first down for the Gators on their own 40-yard line now. 41.
What happened?
Griner brings the Gators back to the line of scrimmage again. And we've got a timeout. Timeout called by the Gators.
Timeout on the field.
Time on the clock is 5 minutes and 50 seconds
He come
left.
out with it. He didn't show it to anybody.
We're going to go to a timeout break, but we'll be prepared just in case we aren't. You know, someone asked me, I was talking to a gentleman over in Savannah area that I do business with that calls football games, and they are providing them with electronic whistles because they are being required to wear a mask while on the football field. So to prevent from having to pull the mask down to blow the whistle and everything else, they are providing them with electronic whistle. So he asked me to observe and see what we were using here. It looks like we're using a traditional old PE coach whistle.
The Alabama high school rule is they only have to wear the face mask at the coin toss and anytime they have a conference with a coach or somebody on the sideline.
Keep in mind that Georgia has had a whole lot worse situation than Alabama has. They've got triple the total amount of cases and triple the amount of deaths too. So they've probably taken a whole lot more. You know, there were several things about some kids getting, you know, them stopping school because of the pandemic. And fortunately in Alabama, I don't think that's happened anywhere. We've had some people that had it, but not that's all. So they are trying to be careful, but that's interesting that the rules do change, but it is a different state, so it's an entirely different situation. I'm not sure that wasn't a heat timeout. I kept waiting on him to signal that it was Glenwood called it, but he never did. But Glenwood looked like to me actually did call the timeout. So we're going to count it as theirs, and we'll find out if it's not. It's on the scoreboard that Glenwood called it. So we're going to go with that.
So with 5 minutes 50 seconds on the clock, Gators are first down and 10 on their own 41-yard line. Griner brings them back to the line of scrimmage. There's the snap. There's a fake. Robichaud, he's going to throw it a little deep, but I think he's going to overthrow. Intended receiver was number 23, A.J. Harris.
That was Griner. No, it was Griner that threw it.
Yeah, that's a fake.
I faked it too.
Yeah. We have a flag on the field. We'll see what the call is. Offsides, Gators. That's going to back us up 5.
I was wondering, I guess they are going to take it.
Yeah, I think I would have probably taken the down myself. That'd give the Gators, they'll retain their down, but it will be first down and 15. And I guess our shortest run is still 5 yards. So if we can keep our average, our minimal average, then we'll still be okay. So let's see what the Gators pull out. So Griner and Robichaud in the backfield. Griner brings the Gators to the line of scrimmage. And there's the snap, and there's the pass, and there's a flag on the ground. So number 23 of the Gators, A.J. Harris, catches it, runs it out to about the 48, but I think it's going to be brought down due to a flag.
He's already bringing it back because he knows it's on us. They're going to take it.
Yeah.
He didn't even spot the ball down there.
No, he didn't.
Illegal procedure.
If I'm correct, that's 3 on us. Illegal procedure, at least.
3.
At least already.
And
That will make
5
it
penalties total.
first down and a long 20. I think that exceeds our minimal 5-yard average, so we're going to have to pick some of the longer plays, some of the longer runs to get this one back. Hope this is not our MO. Back us up, start off first and 20 every time. Gators come to the line of scrimmage, and they tried to draw Bessemer off, and I think we did get
A wide receiver on the other side, John.
Looks like they're gonna call it against the
Them.
middle of the line there on the defensive line of Bessemer. That'll bring it down to 1st down and 15 again.
It's going to take me some time to get the penalty yardage at halftime.
There's the snap. Hands off to Robichaud up in the middle. Gets through the line, tries to break a tackle, but he's brought down around the 50-yard line. It's going to be marked on the 49-yard line of the Gators. That will be 2nd down and 2.
How many yards did you give him? 13.
Haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gators come to the line of scrimmage. Robichaud in the behind Griner. He fakes a handoff to Robichaud and rolls out to the left. He picks up the 1st down, but we got a yellow hanky on the carpet out there. Not sure if that's going to be a holding call on the Gators. That's where it come in, look like. Gonna be holding.
Blocking the back.
Blocking the back. There we go. That will back the Gators up.
Takes the ball back to the
43-yard line. That's gonna make it a 2nd down and 8 to go.
Yeah, it's another one of those spot fouls. So even though it was a 10-yard penalty, they really total is still only 8 yards to get 1st down.
Griner takes the snap, rolls out to the right, throws, and we're not able to bring it down. Beaucamp was the intended receiver. Pass was just a little bit high. Wasn't able to bring it back down with him. Nice play. Everybody where they were needed to be, just pass a little bit high on Beaucamp. That will bring up a 3rd down and 8. I expect to Griner comes from the sideline with Coach Gibson to get the play. Breaks the huddle and brings the Gators to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and a long 8 for the Gators here. Oh, and it's a bad snap. We fall on it where it is on the 30-yard line. Gators will probably be punting away here from the 30-yard line to Bessemer. Wasn't the best series of downs.
Will you give that to the team or to Jackson?
Team.
Okay.
Ball's going to be marked on the 32-yard line of the Gators. Looks like Griner is back to punt this one away. Bessemer will hope to receive it somewhere around the 30-yard line. And there's the snap, and there's the kick, and it's going to be out about the 40-yard line somewhere of the Gators. That was not the kick we needed, so he's going to mark it on the 40-yard line. So the Gators get about a 10-yard kick on that one. Doesn't make it to the original line of scrimmage. They'll turn the ball over to Bessemer on the 40-yard line, where they'll start 1st down and 10. Last time Bessemer was in run, they had a 3 and out, so maybe the Gators defense will show up again.
The major difference is, of course, is they're on our side of the 50, not their side this time.
And it does make a difference. Bessemer lines up. There's the snap, and he hands off to number 35 up the middle.
55 on the top.
Number 55 of the Gators. Mr. Dempsey brings him down. Bessemer picks up maybe 1.5 yards on that one. 2 yards. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 on the Gators' 38-yard line. There's a handoff up the middle.
Dancy.
Dancy, number 1 of Bessemer, takes it down to around the 30-yard line before he's finally brought down by the Gators. Bessemer picks up a 1st down. Be 1st down on the 30-yard line of the Gators.
I didn't see.
I didn't.
I am sorry. I wasn't. I was making sure I got the offense.
Bessemer comes to the line of scrimmage. There's a snap. Handoff to number 35, Summerlin. He picks up maybe 1 yard, maybe 2 at the most. We'll call it a short 2 yards, and we'll be 2nd down and 8 again on the 28-yard line of the Gators.
They're using Summerlin like they did Chris Pickens last year, who was their fullback. Pickens, who also played linebacker, was over 200 pounds, and he just bowled people over. He scored touchdown too in the playoff game. He has also transferred. He's no longer at Bessemer, which is a good thing.
Bessemer comes to the line of scrimmage. There's a snap. He drops back to make a pass. He's going to step up in the pocket, throws it out in the corner, but it's called incomplete, out of bounds.
Right.
Intended receiver was number 14, Dylan Lee. That will bring up a 3rd down and 8 on the Gators' 28-yard line. It's a good area to hold them right here. Makes it tough. Do you punt it away, or do you? Do they have a field goal kicker that can kick it that far, or do you go for 4th down if you're Bessemer? So let's see if Gators can hold them here on the 28-yard line. There's a snap. Drops back to pass, and that's going to be incomplete pass. That was knocked down from behind by the Gators. Mr. Edwards was the so that was Colton Dempsey and Mr. Griner that doubled up on quarterback, wasn't able to get his pass off as he intended. It's going to bring up 4th down and 8. And just as I was saying, the decision is, do you kick or do you go for it here? And I believe they're going to go for it here.
I'm not sure what happened. They had a kicker that was a junior who was very good, named Jackson Stewart, and he is not on the team. I'm not sure if he transferred or what the deal is, but he's not with Bessemer this year. I was expecting him to be their kicker.
Up. There's a whistle before the snap. Got a timeout for Bessemer. So I've heard you say it a couple of times about players that maybe or sounded like you may have known for sure that they had transferred. Did Bessemer have a turnover this year that you know of, Ron?
Well, as far as I know, their coach is the same, and their assistant coaches are the same as well. And let's face it, they still have a core of a very strong team. Mm-hmm. Even though they've, like I say, there were some people that did graduate. The McMillan kid that ran for 150 yards and a touchdown in the championship game, he was a senior. But the others, I thought would, and I knew about Overton too, because he is considered one of the top college prospects in the South. So I knew that he had moved, and the Bessemer coaches actually told me what happened, and he is going to Milton High in Georgia, and is their starting linebacker there. So those things I knew, but the fact that Jackson Stewart's not here and Chris Pickens is not here, and they were stalwarts on that championship team. They've obviously transferred, but I didn't know where they've gone. But again, they have a good core, and they have several of their returning linemen as well. So you can see number 77, that's a big boy, and he played last year. So it's not like they have a lack of folks.
All right. Well, we're going to have 4th down and 8 for Bessemer on the Gators' 28-yard line. They come to the line of scrimmage for the snap. There's the snap, drops back to pass. He's going to throw it short across the middle. It's going to be completed to number 14, and he's going to take it down close to the goal line.
McDonald's pass completed to Philip Lee. Down inside the 5-yard line for the Rebels. First and goal.
That will be 1st and goal. Can't tell from here if it's on the 2 or the 3.
We're gonna say the 2, but I think it might be closer to the 1. But
Yeah.
we're gonna say 1st and goal at the 2.
It's a 1. Ball's touching the 1.
Yes, sir.
Bessemer comes to the line of scrimmage, take the snap. There's the snap. They hand it off up the middle. He's hit hard just in the backside of the line of scrimmage, and I don't believe he's going to get the touchdown. Not sure if he really moved the ball forward. Don't see the stick moving. So we're going to still call it the 1-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 1.
Made by those Gators. No gain on the play. 2nd down and goal from the 2.
We're still they're saying 2 on the thing too, so we're gonna go with the 2. Whether
It's
it
a yard there.
There's the snap. He hands off, and he's met at line of scrimmage, but he winds up dragging them across in for the touchdown. Going to be a touchdown for the Gators. For Bessemer.
and I cannot see from across here who that was. Who scored?
You know, their numbers are not easily to see.
Yeah.
That silver on the white jersey just
Yeah.
is hard to see their numbers and determine exactly who's what. Bessemer will line up for the point after attempt.
And the guy made McDonald, the quarterback, made an excellent fake to the left side, and I think a couple of guys thought that guy was the one that had the.
There's a snap. There's a kick, but it's blocked. It's no good. Gators pull that one off, so they still retain the lead over Bessemer, 7-6, with about 36 seconds left in the first quarter. Now that was Batch. That was the field goal kicker for Bessemer. You know, Ron, we were speaking earlier about transfers, and I know with a lot of the COVID going on, some of the schools that were not opening and the question of whether they were going to open, I think the AISO was very quick. Most of the schools was very quick to announce they would be open full force in few, and I was often wondering how that helped as far as transfers in from other schools. Did we have any transfers here with the Gators this year?
Well, actually, we had a guy from Beauregard to come in.
Okay.
I know that, and that there were two other players. And the main thing, though, is according to Coach Gibson, there are 4 seniors on the team this year that did not play last year.
I remember reading that in the article that he
Right.
had some that were playing that didn't last year.
Cody Bentz is one of those, and Cody's been playing a lot so
There's
far
a
on
kick.
defense.
He's deep.
Good.
And we got a hole there, and we accelerate through it, and he might be gone. There's number down the line. He's going to be brought down around the 15-yard line. A.J. Harris takes the kickoff all the way back. They're going to mark it around the 14-yard line. So it will be 1st down and 10 to go for the Gators on Bessemer's 14-yard line.
It's funny, Tim, that you should mention that about the transfers. He's one of them, A.J. Harris.
And where did A.J. come from?
I cannot.
Not. Well, we sure do appreciate having A.J. with us. Glad to have him in the family. And Griner brings the Gators to the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's getting the call from the sideline. There's the snap, and there's a fake handoff. Oh, Griner's met in the backfield by number 2, but Griner pushes him to the ground, but he still struggles to get back to the original line of scrimmage. They marked that one down about the 17-yard line, so we're going to lose 3 on that one. Could have been a lot worse. So it looks like that's the end of the first quarter. The Gators leading Bessemer 7-6. So we'll go back to a question I asked earlier, Ron. Comparing to last year's ball games, how do we look?
A lot better.
A lot better.
A lot better, especially on offense. I know that, of course, Griner played some quarterback last year, and it looks like to me, and I don't know this, I'm not a coach, but he is running a lot of the offense that Bryce Newman as a running quarterback ran.
Well, you know, you was talking about Griner running the ball much like we did 2 years
Bryce
ago
Newman.
with Bryce Newman. Bryce Newman was a much larger kid,
Right.
but I don't think he was as agile as Griner is either. I've seen Griner make some moves that freed him up and got him past some tackles here tonight. But I know that Coach Gibson loves that quarterback run style offense.
With
he likes having a
right.
quarterback that can pass the ball.
With options.
With options. And we have seen Griner throw the ball very well tonight. We've had 2 incomplete passes, but both passes were catchable. And so no bad passes. Well, I take that back. We have one long one down here that we overthrew the receiver on a long pass, but our down and outs and across the middles have been good passes. So looks like Griner's got a great arm, and he's got a great eye to determine when to pull and tuck and run and when to throw. So once again, back to the article that I read in the Phoenix Citizen earlier today. Coach feels like this is a very athletic team like he had back in 2017. Young, some with not as much experience, but very athletic. So the Gators will come to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 13 is what the board says. 2nd down and 13.
I assure you,
Inside the 20-yard line of Bessemer.
I assure you that if you told Coach Gibson they'd be ahead at the end of the first quarter,
And
he'd
there's
have
the
taken
snap. He's going to throw it to the end zone. He's going to overthrow that one. Griner had to get rid of that one quick. He had someone on his hind end. That will bring up 3rd down and 13.
So they jump past the ball like they did with Trip Day.
He was throwing that to Ethan Craw. That's the guy that played on the basketball team that could. He was
has a very nice vertical leap, but
Yes,
I think
sir.
he was probably held a little bit to keep from getting off the ground.
Well, he's new to football. From
This
Australia.
football.
Yes, this football.
There's a snap. Griner takes it, rolls out to the left. He throws it in the end zone where it is
Not down.
almost intercepted by Bessemer. It's knocked down at the goal post. So we're going to have 4th down and 13. And it looks like we're going to bring Garrett Hall in to keep the field goal here. So we're going to call this a 35-yard attempt. He's off to the right hash marks.
I have to look. He has a new number this year, so I'll be sure I get the right guy.
Waiting on the snap. There's a snap. There's the kick. It is a good kick, and it is going to be good for 3 points. Garrett Hall comes through and puts the Gators on the board again, moving the Gators to a 10-6 lead over Bessemer. And once again, I almost want to go back to that question, but I'm not going to. How do we look compared to last year? Gators have struggled in the past, which a lot of teams usually struggle playing Bessemer. But we lost to them twice last year, but it looks like we're actually having a good game and an opportunity here to start the season off. We talked about it earlier, the fact that the Gators are not in the same region as Bessemer this year. So this would be a great way to start the season with a win, but even better than that is we're not in the same region with them.
A lot of those games that they used to play, like against Tuscaloosa Academy and Monroe, those games are not on the schedule anymore. It's Pike Liberal Arts, and although Lee Scott, who is in our region and should be, they're close. But certainly, you'd have to say that it was a great deal. I want to mention something about Garrett Hall's field goal. Coach Gibson said it was Garrett Hall's field goal in the Tuscaloosa playoff game is what got him fired up to get it going.
20-yard line. Runs at 25. He's up to the 30. And we're arm tackling. We're going to finally ride him down. See who that is of the Gators. Winds up getting that tackle.
15.
Number 15 of the Gators is going to be Drew Jeffcoat. We started initiating contact around the 30-yard line. We finally tackled him on the 45.
And it was 15 who ran the ball for them on the kick return. It was Jacob Berry.
So Bessemer will start 1st and 10 on their own 45-yard line. There is 11 minutes and 32 seconds left on the clock. We got all sides on Bessemer. Looks like their left guard may have moved. That will back them up 5 yards, give it a 1st down and 15 to go. As a Gator fan, we'll take everything we can get. That's going to move them back to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, they had 2 linebackers that were crowding the both 13 and 10 were right there on top, and he couldn't be still.
That time we dropped back. We're going to be a long pass, and it's going to be overthrown. That will bring up 2nd down and 15 for Bessemer. Well covered by the Glenwood Gators in the secondary. That would have had to been a perfect pass to have gotten to that receiver, I believe. Sinclair was covering on that pass, step for step with the receiver. Bessemer comes to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and a long 15. Ball on their own 40-yard line. There's a snap. There's a handoff up the middle to Dancy. He gets hit in the backfield, but he bounces it out. He's actually hit about the 45, but he's finally brought down on the Gators' 40-yard line. Actually, about the 35-yard line is where they knock him out of bounds. They're going to mark it on the other side of the field on the 39-yard line. That should have been, he should have been stopped in the backfield, but we allowed him to get loose, and he's got the speed. If you let him loose, he's going to hurt you.
He's an athlete. He's a good player, and
We sent all our linebackers up the middle.
1st and 10. Ball's on the Gators' 39-yard line. So they moved it from their own 40 to the Gators' 39. About a 21-yard run there. There's drops back to pass. Oh, and we almost picked it off. That was Sinclair tried to step in on the pass. but knocks the ball away in the process. That will bring up second down and 10, 39-yard line again. Had Sinclair been able to step in front of that one and pick it off, he could have walked to the end zone from there. Out in that flats, nobody really around but the receiver, and he was going the opposite direction.
Sinclair knew. Yeah. You see a transfer in? Yeah. Sinclair is one of those transfers in that I was talking about. I know DJ and AJ, the two guys with the were, but Sinclair is also a transfer.
There's a snap, handoff up the middle. He might get one. Bounces outside. Looks like he might have got back to the line of scrimmage where they're going to mark it. Just inside between the 38 and 39, so he might have got a half a yard. So we'll still call this one third down and a long 9 or short 10. Which side of the line we want to cut the line, or?
Did he say Dancy was on the carry? That's what I thought it was.
Yes.
Yes, it was. It was Mr. Dancy was the carry there.
Yeah, that's Summerlin.
Summerlin, number 35, is in the backfield with the quarterback. Bessemer ready. They take the snap. He drops back to pass. He rolls out to the left. He's being contained by the linebackers. He might have picked up a yard or two before he's forced out of bounds, but that was great defensive coverage by the Gators. We're going to give DJ Jones, the linebacker, who was not only keeping him at home, but made the tackle, so it brings up a fourth down and a long 8. And Bessemer's going to kick this one away.
That was A.J. Harris.
Was it A.J. Harris? We always like to give him credit for who it is. So Glenwood will take a timeout. So we've talked about some of our transfers, and you said DJ Jones, A.J. Harris, and who else was it we just said? Sinclair.
Uh-huh.
And any idea where these guys came from?
I cannot remember.
Harris County, Brookstone, several of them.
Okay.
Beauregard.
That's Harold.
Not BJ. He's
Cousin.
oh.
So Gators have got a few transfers. We'd like to welcome them to the Gator family. Bessemer will come out and line up to kick this ball away from the ball is actually sitting on the Gators' 37.5-yard line. The Gators really don't look like they're looking for punt reception. They're lined up as though this is a defensive. There's a snap. There's the kick. That one will probably get into the end zone. And it does. It takes a good high Gator bounce into the end zone. So the Gators will start their next series of downs on the 20-yard line.
All those would be probably a couple more.
Oh, it's
Well, maybe for next week we'll find out a little background history on some of these.
yeah.
New
I
transfers
apologize. I apologize. I'm usually good about that kind of thing and did not do it. So you can
Well,
blame that on me.
I won't blame you, because if anybody's going to know, you're going to know most of the time, Ron. Most definitely helpful. Grinder's going to bring the Gators to the line of scrimmage on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. There's a snap. He's going to hand off to Robichaud, bounces it out to the right side. Off tackle, he's going to pick up about 7 or 8 yards before he's brought down. Looks like they're going to give him 7. It's going to be 2nd down and 3. On the Gators' 27-yard line.
I'm giving him 8, Ryan.
Are you giving him 8? All right.
Second down.
We're going.
3.
Gators come to the line of scrimmage.
That was Peyton Ziegler telling us the official yardage figures.
And
And
the handoff back up the middle. He's going to get first down. He breaks a tackle about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage and picks up several more yards after initial contact. He's going to be brought down around the 37-yard line of the Gators. That's going to be a first down and 10. Going back to what Ron was trying to say when that play started is we have Peyton Ziegler in the booth with us, helping us eyeball some of these kids, giving us some information on some of the transfers and the new kids, and we appreciate his help tonight. Gators take the snap, rolls out to the right, and he gets the ball off. We're gonna pick up at least 5 or 6 off. Well, yeah,
more like 3. But that's all right.
It's 5 or 6 from the point of the pass where he was about to be sacked. So that is our shortest offensive play of the night. 3-yard pass. It'd be okay if it was 3-yard run, but 3-yard pass is kind of odd. So still, our shortest run is 5 yards. But our shortest play for the night is 3 yards. So the Gators are keeping a good average.
Right, and I assure you they'll take the +3 instead of the minus of a sack anytime.
Amen. Oh, we're going to have all sides on the Gators. That's number 51 of the Gators, Denson Hunter.
And there was no doubt about who it was that jumped either.
I think he was just excited to go do his job. We'll just give him the benefit of the doubt on that one. I'm sure Coach Gibson won't look at it that way, but it is second down and 10. Somebody informed me, second down and 12. Somebody, just heard someone say that Denson's actually new to the game. So we will most definitely give him mercy and grace.
Another one of those singers that have to play.
There's the snap. He hands off to Robichaud at the middle. Robishaw's going to pick up a first down before he's finally brought down by about 3 of Bessemer's players. He brings it out to the 50-yard line, and we're going to call that a first down and 10 for the Gators on the 50-yard line.
For another Glenwood first down.
Peyton Ziegler added to the fact that that was a senior. As we spoke earlier, Coach has a lot of seniors that come out to play for the first time and contributing. Not only are they just on the sideline, as we might see, they're actually playing and contributing to the team. So we're glad to see those athletes on the field. Robichaud, they say, has dropped about 20 pounds and turned the rest of it into muscle. So we're seeing even a stronger runner this year. And there's Griner around the end. They were looking at Robichaud and stayed at home, and Griner run around the end and picked up about 20 yards on that run.
Down inside the 30.
He was almost 20 yards before he was ever touched.
First down.
That's going to be another first down for the Glenwood Gators. Ball's going to be down on the Bessemer 29-yard line.
Did you give him 21 or 20?
21.
Yeah, we're going to make it 21 yards for the run. So it's a first and 10 on the 29.
Well, I was about right because he was hit about 20 yards into the run and brought down 21. So Gators come to the line of scrimmage. Griner in the backfield with Robichaud again. There's the snap. We hand out, we fake it off to the left side. Griner keeps it again and runs it up the middle. He picks up at least 8 or 9 yards. Let's see where they mark this one. It's going to be second down and 2. So we'll give him 8 yards on that run. Back to our discussion earlier, Coach Gibson likes a running quarterback who has the capability of passing the ball well and running the ball, making a good decision. I think that was actually an option there. So we got, I'm not sure what this line, it is a Wildcat with Robichaud. Robishaw's hitting the backfield, but he actually Looks like he gets it back to the line of scrimmage.
He may have gained a yard. I think when he lined up in the Wildcat, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. They knew who was going to carry the ball, and so they ignored everybody else and headed straight to 7.
We didn't get good blocking on our lead blockers either. They actually went around both sides of our lead blockers to make that tackle to get to Robichaud on that one. Glenwood takes a timeout with 5 minutes and 51 seconds in the second quarter. It is 3rd down and a long one. Ball's down around just inside the 20-yard line, and with this timeout, who is our next opponent? Who will we be looking at next week?
Escambia Academy.
Escambia.
And they are in the playoffs every year in AA.
And that is one of our region games, correct?
4 times.
No?
No, it's a AA.
It's, okay.
They're double A.
They're
Okay.
number 4 in the state.
Okay.
Preseason poll.
Okay. Mr. Ziegler says that they were ranked number 4.
Overall.
Escambia is ranked number 4 overall in the preseason poll. Was Bessemer ranked in the preseason poll? Number 3. 2?
2? Yeah,
We're 3.
Glenwood's 3 and Bessemer's
So
2.
Bessemer is ranked number 2 preseason. Glenwood was ranked number 3 in preseason, and then Escambia is ranked number 4. So if you're going to start out, just go ahead and slap the big boys up front and get the season going, huh?
That's right. And Escambia has been in the playoffs.
We're in the Wildcat again. There's a snap. Robichaux's going to fake a pass and roll around the right side to get the first down.
I don't know if he was actually going to throw it. If I guess he would have if the guy had been wide open, but I think the first priority was get the first down.
Well, I think with him staying at home faking the pass, they had to stay honest too. And,
it worked.
so we get a first down for the Gators. Gators have it first down on their
16.
Yes.
16-yard line.
Gain of 5.
Gain of 5 yards by Robichaud. Our minimal average on run. We go back to our traditional offense. Griner at quarterback. Robichaud in the backfield behind him. And there's a whistle.
I was going to say.
Going to be timeout Glenwood. Coach Gibson's going to make sure he's got everything lined up perfectly for this one. It is 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Glenwood leads 10-6 in this second quarter. You know, I'm looking out over the field, and we were talking earlier about the difference in the different states and how we were going to have to be in this environment. And I remember reading earlier this week what our social distance rules were, and you know, one of the rules talked about making sure that the kids stayed with the parents and everybody had masks on and staying in our family units. And you know, it has been a long tradition for Glenwood children to play on that hillside right in front of us next to the fence there. I mean, as far as I can remember, and down at the end of the field. And I was really kind of worried when I saw that the kids weren't going to be able to play down there, because that's just tradition. And I'm glad to say I see parents down there with them. Of course, as usual, we have parents on the fence line walking the field, but I do see the future Glenwood Gators playing on the hillside at the 50-yard line again tonight, and that is a good thing to actually see in today's times. I appreciate Mr. Mitchum and the board and the decisions they've had to make this game and this season possible. And we just want to give a shout out to them and their leadership and the decisions they've made in the AISA. There's a snap. Griner takes it, rolls out to the left to throw. Corner of the end zone, but ooh, that one's knocked away again. He is wide open but the defensive back makes
Made
a
a
quick
great play.
recovery
Great play.
to close in and knock that one away. I thought that was a touchdown. I almost called it for it was, and I'm glad I didn't, but yeah.
But we'll say that was some kind of closing because.
But I'm going to tell you, not every defensive back, that's the second time he's made a close like that tonight.
Yep.
And you're not going to see too many high school defensive corners that's going to be able to make a move and close on that. I'm sure there was some coaches out there watching those two plays there, but I'll give that kid kudos. That was excellent defensive play. Brings up second down and 10 for the Gators on the 16-yard line. There's a snap. Griner takes it around the right. He gets about 4 or 5 before he's finally contacted. Let's see, it's hard to tell. Looks like they about 6 yards, 5 or 6 yards. And we're going to call it 3rd down and 4 on the 10-yard line.
This should be interesting. See what happens.
3rd and a long 4.
Mm-hmm.
Griner takes the snap. He hands off to Robichaud right up the middle, who's hit at the line of scrimmage, but he still picks up. And we do get a 1st down. That will be a Glenwood 1st down. It will now be goal to go on the 5-yard line. I have to say Peyton Ziegler got better eyes than I do, Ron.
Well,
He could tell how far he got, and
I had the 5 yards, but I sure couldn't tell he had the 1st down.
Watch the referee on the other side where he goes spot the ball.
I tried to.
He went to spot it past the 1st down mark.
Okay.
there's a snap. Griner hands off around the right side. And we go touchdown. Do we get it? Yes, we see the hands go up. That is touchdown Gators. Brings the score to 16-6.
A.J. Harris.
A.J. Harris, another one of our transfers. And we will see what we can do about getting some more information on our new family members. Gary Hall comes out for the point after attempt.
That kid's a sophomore.
A.J. Harris is a sophomore. He will be with us for a few more years. There's a snap, there's the kick, and it is good. That's a chip shot, looks like, for Garrett. That makes the score 17-6. There is 4 minutes 48 seconds before in this second quarter before halftime. And as we so talked about, this is a total different outturn in the game so far for the Gators, playing a very tough second-ranked team of Bessemer.
This was probably not predicted because they are defending champions in Class 3A. But
They've already played one game. Scrimmage last Friday.
they have and they have looked a little bit out of sync. I'm talking about Bessemer on defense. I don't know if they're missing or if it's just Glenwood doing a good job with running their offense. But whether it's Griner or whether it's Robichaud, they're getting holes and they're making yards.
Going to come down around the 25. And he's going to be tackled around the 25.
On the ground,
the ball was on the ground. No, they're calling him down.
He looked down.
When in doubt, dive on the ball, though. They're going to mark him down around the 22, 23-yard line. Gators will start their defensive series. Bessemer will start offensive on their own 23-yard line. Just over 4 minutes and a half left in the quarter.
Well, the last time 15 had a run back, it was 45 yards, and I think they will be glad to take a minus run back anytime.
Yes.
Hey, you was talking about whether it was their defense was having issues or our offense. I think I'll take our offense is just performing well. There's a handoff up the middle. He gets away from one dance. He dances around, gets out, where picks up a few yards before he's finally brought down by the Gators. I think he run more east and west than he did north and south, but he still picked up about 8 yards on that run. We're going to call it 2nd down and 2 for Bessemer. Could have possibly been brought down around the line of scrimmage. If you don't get him the first time, you might have trouble. If he gets out, he's quick, agile. There's the snap. Hands off to Summerlin up the middle. Summerlin fumbles the ball. The Gators recover it. Let's see which one of the Gators comes up with it.
55.
Number 55 of the Gators. That will be Colton Dempsey. Called Colton's name a few times tonight. Been a big defensive player for the Gators tonight. Somebody put a helmet on that ball. Summerlin would have maybe picked up a couple of yards with the run, but he got to hold on to the tater. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gators on Bessemer's 33-yard line.
Big play.
Gators have just under 4 minutes left in the quarter. Plenty of time to put this one in the end zone. There's a snap. Griner rolls out to the left, and he's wide open. He throws it, and it's going to be incomplete. He throws it across the middle, running down. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. Gators actually had 2 receivers that time. Number 22 was the intended receiver, Austin Mond, but we had another receiver on the far side, number 2, Tony Maples, that was wide open, not even being defended. So Beaucamp comes out. A.J. Harris, we talked about a time or two already, goes in.
Looks like Harris plays both offense and defense because he's been in the backfield defensively as well. So that's nice to have a sophomore to go 2 ways like that.
Yeah, Coach Gibson said that a lot of his kids were going to be playing both ways. There's a fake. Griner goes around the right. He picks up at least a 1st down. Looks like he picks up about 11 or 12 yards.
With a 2-run home run, bro. You expect to be 2 runs.
That will be a 1st down and 10 for the Gators on Bessemer's 23-yard line. 22.
Glenwood, 1st down.
He got 11 on that. Wanted to mention that fumble recovery is the 1st turnover in the game.
And I'm glad it went our way.
Yes.
I think you expressed last time that last time we played, we had a couple of turnovers that cost us. And there's the fake. Griner goes around the right, gets hit around the line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up a yard or 2. We'll bring it down as 2nd down and 8. And there goes our minimal average. Guys, we have run almost 2 quarters, and the Gators' minimal average was 5 yards, and we're down to 2. But I'll tell you what we've had so far. Been great execution when we have, other than some of the offside penalties and illegal blocks. So there's a snap. Robichaud up the middle, but he bounces it out to the right, sees a hole, and he's going to pick up another 1st down for the Gators. Going to move that one inside the 20-yard line.
Summerlin on the tackle, number 35. Not before another
Going to be on about the 9-yard line. They're going to mark the ball. It'll be a first down, goal to go on the 9. So we're going to have 4 attempts to put this one in the end zone. Gators come to the line of scrimmage. They've got all the backs in the backfield. 2 wides. There's a fake handoff. Grinder around the right, and he's in for the touchdown. And Gators put 6 more points on the board. Brings the score to 23-6. Gators leading with 1:33 left on. Garrett Hall will come in for the point after attempt. 24-6. I'm not sure too many people would have predicted the current status. There's a fumble on the play, and we throw the ball up in the air, and it's intercepted, but are we going?
Doesn't matter. He can't return it. It's dead.
So the Gators have a fumble on the snap. So point after is no good. Not because Garrett Hall missed it, but mishandled the snap. That will lead the score at 23-6. Glenwood Gators leading here with 1:33 left in the game.
I don't know who it was that attempted to throw the ball. I thought it was 11. But
Was that not Cam Carpenter? Well, no, Cam was holding the ball earlier. I don't know. He was hurt earlier in the game,
Yeah.
did he?
Like
Not sure if he's come back or not.
But it was an incomplete pass, so it's just...
Gators will kick off to Bessemer again here.
I assure you that before this game started, people would not have been surprised with the 23-6 score. They would have been surprised maybe that Glenwood had the 23.
And I can convey with you there on that.
You've got to give this coaching staff, though, and Coach Gibson kudos for really having guys
There's the kick. He kicks
ready to
deep,
play.
On the 20-yard line, brings it up to the 30, and he's brought down around the 31, 32-yard line. So Bessemer will start, hopefully, the last series of downs of this half on the 32-yard line.
Yeah, the runner was Will Farrell
But
for them.
most definitely, you are correct in that, Ron, that they have not had the normal practice capabilities, but neither have Bessemer, all said and done. It's been hard to practice in this social distance environment, but it looks like Coach Gibson has done a well job to get the kids together. A lot of the kids have never even played together because we've had so many transfers and so many new kids that were already in the school that decided to play. So getting the continuity together was a concern of Coach Gibson's. So Bessemer drops back, he throws a pass across the middle, and it's almost intercepted. It's tipped away, defended by number 6 of the Gators, Tyreek Maples. I heard Coach Perdue earlier say that Tyreek said he had the easiest job on the field. All he had to do was stay deeper than the deepest man. So that time he broke that pass away, made sure that he didn't get deeper.
I think they figured it out from playing against him before that McDonald can scramble to get open, but he doesn't scramble to run. He scrambles to find a receiver and throw it. If you'll notice, he's not attempted to run once he starts in the scramble mode. He's looking downfield to throw the ball.
McDonald brings him back to the line of scrimmage, and there's the snap. He's going to roll out to the left looking for a receiver, and it is caught for a first down. Picks up about 11 yards on that one. It's going to move the ball to Bessemer's 44-yard line.
It was to Lee.
Reception was by Lee of Bessemer. Minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. Ball on the 44-yard line of Bessemer. I'm going to assume they're going to continue to pass the ball here. They've not had a great successful run game as they normally do. There's a pass out into the flats. He's going to get hit, brought down after about 3 or 4 yards. That's
To number 3.
number 3, TJ Tate. Tackle was made by number 13, DJ Jones.
He only got 4 yards on that play.
So they give him 4 yards. We're going to call it 2nd down and 6.
The only problem was he got out of bounds, so he did stop the clock, so we still got a minute to play.
Minute and 3 seconds left on the clock. 2nd down and 6. Gators look like they coming. Drops back to pass. Rolls out to the left. And there's pass, and it is completed for a 1st down. Dances around and picks up an extra 5 yards after initial contact. He's going to be brought down around the 33-yard line of the Gators with 51 seconds left on the clock.
To number 2, Will Farrell.
Will Farrell, number 2, was the receiver on that one. Need to tighten up. We have a personal foul.
Roughing the passer.
Roughing the passer against the Gators. And that's not going to help us.
Yeah, so he gets...
That will be tagged on to the
Right.
long play already. That will move the ball down inside the 20-yard line. We'll be on about the 18-yard line with 51 seconds left on the clock. So the Gators need to tighten up here for this last less than 1 minute in the ball game. Don't want to give them points going into for halftime. We'll take a interception here, guys. He drops back to pass. McDonald does. He rolls to the right, that's going to be intentional grounding on McDonald. There wasn't a receiver within 20 yards of the pass, but he had 3 Gators on his tail. So that will help us a little bit.
Loss of down, correct?
That will be a loss of down. We'll move the ball back, and we've got 40.
Spot foul way back here.
And going to be a spot foul, as we've talked about several times. Sometimes it's where it occurs. It hurts you worse than the foul itself also. He was already 10 or 12 yards in the backfield. He was being chased by a host of Gators. So they move it back to the 36-yard line, 37, somewhere in there. And it will be 2nd down and real long. We're going to call almost 30 yards.
Yep.
And 40 seconds left on the clock. That helped us a whole lot.
Yep.
There's the snap. And once again, he's going to throw it across the middle. Wide open. Something happened to our defender. He slipped and allowed him to get by. Not what we wanted to happen right here going into halftime, but Gators are still on top, 23-12. Bessemer will line up for the point after attempt and give us 30 seconds or so to return a kickoff. How about that?
Well, I told you, McDonald is not there to run the ball. He is going to
Timeout, Bessemer.
and he did a great job of picking the open receiver. So it is what it is. It's tough to give up a touchdown just a few seconds before half, but keep in mind it's still warm and humid up there, and the guys are not as quick as they were in the first quarter.
And as we said earlier, a lot of these kids are playing both ways. We haven't identified very many of them. But usually it's some of our linemen that have to go both ways too. And
And I meant to check, Cam Carpenter did go out with an injury. I don't know if he went back in or not. As far as I know, he has not. So he was expected to be a starter on the defense, I'm sure.
And I think that would have probably been the area that would have been covered. Because it was that, he come off that left side. So it would have been that left cornerback.
Well, I was going to say, I kept looking and I never saw 21.
Bessemer's going to go for 2 points.
Which is not
There's
surprising.
A snap, and there's a pass across the middle. It's a jump pass, but it's going to be incomplete. And that will keep the score at 23-12. Gators lead by 11 with 33 seconds left before half. And we'll see how we finish this first half out as Gators have a couple of plays possibly to see if they can make something happen. And it's not anything the Gators can't have a big play.
Well, you know, they had that one really good return earlier by Harris, and he's back again. So certainly I know that would be an exciting thing for Glenwood to have a nice return. So we'll see what happens.
I bet they don't kick it to Harris.
I bet they don't try.
I would.
I think we'll see a pooch kick here somewhere around the 30-yard line. Gators have Harris and Sinclair both back to receive deep, but I don't believe that ball is going to go deep. We're going to have onside, and the Gators defend it very well, recover the ball on their own 48-yard line. That's as good as a good return right there.
And that's one of our transfers again, B.J. Snellgrove, who recovered it.
So
I thought you said.
The other Snellgrove.
Oh.
65 or something.
Oh, that's right.
So Gators come to the line of scrimmage at the 48-yard line, first down and 10. We see what Coach Gibson's got dialed up here to see if we can't put some more points on the board. I believe if we could get within distance, we've already seen Garrett kick a 35-yard field goal. There's a shot deep. Let's see if he goes and gets it. It's intercepted.
At the 15, that's Dancy.
Dancy intercepts it, brings it back to the 34-yard line. We see a flag midfield. We'll see what that call is. That's, a lot of times that's either one side or the other showing a little anger that far away from the ball.
Personal foul,
will get
Bessemer.
personal foul against Bessemer. There's still 26 seconds left on the clock. Bessemer will, they ran it back out to the 32-yard line.
Yeah.
But that personal foul would take the ball a little further back. A little bit of security for the Gators, but not sure he knows how to count yet. He's still trying to add up how far it goes back. So he marks that one around the 17-yard line. So it will be 1st and 10, 17-yard line for Bessemer.
It looks like it's closer to the 20, so I'd say it was the 18 or 19.
Okay.
any way you look at it, it's a big penalty for them because they were in excellent.
And they just down the ball, don't even take a chance at it.
Right.
And we'll go into halftime here after the clock runs down. Gators come off the field. Gators leading at halftime 23-12. An unexpected score for most people, but I bet Coach Gibson expected it the whole time.
I'm sure he'll be glad of the lead, but I'd be disappointed that they gave up that touchdown just before halftime.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a break here at halftime, and we'll come back to you right before the second half, and Ron will have some stats for you to share with you how the Gators have done so far. And most of all, they have done a tremendous job against this Bessemer team that's usually a pretty strong and stout team. So we'll see you in a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen.
got it on, I think. I'm leaving these here so you can look at the numbers because all I do is need it for the story.
All right, Ron. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Glenwood Gators getting ready for the second half of this game against Bessemer. Score on the board is 23-12. Gators lead Bessemer. It's been a very exciting game for us. But we've got some stats and some scores and maybe some updates for you. I'm going to turn it over to Ron Frazier at this time to kind of bring you up to date where the Gators are.
Okay, well, of course, my statistics are unofficial, but try to keep them as close as we can to the real thing. One thing that's for sure is Glenwood's been able to run the ball. As a team, they've got 22 runs for 191 yards, and two of the big carriers are, of course, Jackson Griner at quarterback. He's got 92 yards on 9 carries and a touchdown, and then Kai Robichaud has 11 runs for 89 yards and a touchdown. The other touchdown was by A.J. Morris on a great, I guess, end around or wing back round for 5 yards for the other TD. Griner, although he's made a couple of look like decent throws, it's not looking good as far as the stats are concerned. He's 2 for 9 for 11 yards and an interception. So a couple of those passes were wide open, and we made a comment during the game that the guy made a couple of really great plays, and that was certainly something. For Bessemer, their key is usually being able to run the ball, and they've not been able to do that. They've got 48 yards rushing total as a team, with 41 of those coming from their star, Jarvis Dancy. The big thing is, of course, P.J. McDonald is 5 for 10 for 97 yards and a touchdown, passing the ball. He also has, we had to double check this, he kept the ball and ran a 1-yard touchdown near the end, but we could not tell the first touchdown who ran it in for Bessemer. He faked the ball to Dancy, and our linebackers took that fake because he is a star running back, and McDonald was able to run it in himself. He does not run much. In fact, he only ran the ball besides that 2 other times, and one of those was to down the ball just before half. 1 turnover, it was big, it was a fumble, and Glenwood took it and got a score off of it, and that's probably been the difference, as it's now 23-12 Glenwood, who I think many people would have considered the underdog before this game started. That is everybody but the Glenwood sideline.
We appreciate that update and rundown on things. We also found out a little bit about our transfers and some of the players who are stepping up this year that have not played in the past. So we'll be able to share that with you as we go along. Glenwood will kick off to Bessemer to start this second half. I believe it was said earlier by someone we need a deep kickoff here. We need to keep them far back on their side as we can. We're going to pooch kick it to the 25-yard line. It's going to be received and run to the other side of the field, where he's going to be finally brought down around the 37-yard line maybe. So Bessemer will start their first series of downs for this second half around the 37-yard line, their own 37 that is.
And that was Jacob Berry on the return for Bessemer.
Jacob Berry. And it looks like, is that Kim Carpenter back with a knee brace out on the field?
Yes.
It is. So number 21, Kim Carpenter, is back in the ball game. We were asking earlier about his condition, so we now know. Bessemer will line up. It's going to be a pass. Number 2 receives it, dances around. It's going to finally be brought down. That is
Griner on the tackle.
Number 2, Will Farrell on the reception.
looked like number 9 Griner
It was.
on the tackle there. So Grinder's not only playing quarterback, but he's playing a tough linebacker's position also for the Gators.
We shouldn't be surprised at this passing. If you'll remember, that's how they got the ball in for a touchdown earlier. So it looks like they've just decided that they're going to throw the ball.
There's
and
the pass. He catches it in the line of scrimmage, and he might have picked up one, maybe two. Number 15 of the Gators, Drew Jeffcoat, was number 19. I'm sorry, Sinclair, who makes that tackle. So I told you earlier we did get a rundown. Mr. Sinclair, Jay Sinclair, is from over in Beauregard. We sure are glad to have him with us this year. He has most definitely been a contributor to the team heavy tonight. So we'll bring up 2nd down and 9. There's the snap. It looks like we're just going to be passing.
That's what I think they're going to do all night.
So he caught it around the 35-yard line, and they brought him down around the 26-yard line. So he picked up about 9 yards after initial contact. It's going to be a 1st down and 10 from the 26-yard line.
Looks like he threw to Dancy, I think.
It did. It was Dancy. Caught that in the middle of the field. And what's the old saying? Get the ball in his hands and let him run, and that's what he did.
I think we've just figured out what they're going to do. The heck with the running game. They're going to be throwing the ball and test the Glenwood passing defense.
There's the snap. He's looking out to the left, and the receiver is there. He catches it. He's going to get a 1st down. He's going to be brought down somewhere around the 1st down marker. May have been a short. So we'll call it 2nd down and 9. He picks up 9 yards on that reception. That was Dylan Lee.
We got a Gator over at Crampton.
Looks like we've got a Gator down on the field. Looks like it's Cramps.
Dylan Lee, is that for y'all? Does Dylan Lee play for you?
Huh?
Does Dylan Lee play for you, for Glenwood? I didn't think Lee caught the ball. He said 14. It looked like number 2 caught the ball.
Oh, was it number 2? I'm sorry.
It sure
Will
looked
Farrell.
like Farrell. Mm-hmm.
Ron keeping me straight here. That was number.
Pass was complete. He's 4 for 4 to start the.
Is that Harris? Number 23, Harris. A.J. Harris, who was down on the sideline for a little bit with cramps. He's come to the sideline walking it off. He has.
He's been playing both sides. Now. Yeah, they're going to measure, but it looks like he might be a little short. Yeah, Harris is playing both ways, and he is a sophomore, so that could happen. Yeah, they're short.
He's short just a few inches. I guess they wanted to make sure they marked it on the field where it was on the sideline out in the middle of the field. So we'll call it 2nd down and inches. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point. Peyton Ziegler, who is helping us, mentioned that we need to get pressure on the quarterback. He is not a threat really to run the ball, and so it would be important to try to contain him so he can't find the receivers, because they're flooding the field and pretty much just.
There's the snap, handoff up the middle. I'm not sure he gets very far, but he didn't have to pick up but a couple inches. So where they
Both teams.
Actually, it'll be first down, will it not?
Yes.
So it's first down and 23-yard line, as Mr. Ziegler says.
Both teams
There's
had more.
snap, he drops back. He's going to try to throw this one deep. He does finally run
That's his.
because he has to, but he is brought down out of bounds by the Gators defense. Mr. Snellgrove runs him down after he picks up about 6 or 8 yards. This will be second down and 8, maybe 18.
Well, he got 6, so it'd be second and 17.
17. I'm not doing the math. I'm just trying to add them up out there on the field.
I was surprised he took off. I thought for sure he'd throw
That
the
is
ball.
the first time he's actually tucked it and ran.
Yeah.
Denver's got good pressure that time.
Mm-hmm. Bessemer comes to the line, second down. There's snap. He's going to have to tuck it and run again. No, we step in front up and break it up. We almost picked that one off, but we'll take the break up instead.
I promise you that. Yeah.
That was Mr. Sinclair again, stepping in, making a difference.
And I'm not saying, but I tell you, if that had been Griner, he would have taken off. But he didn't, and we thank him.
Third down and 18 again. This is about the way where they were when they scored right before halftime. So he fakes to Summerlin, steps back, he throws a screen pass out in the flats, and we cover it pretty well. He gets back to about the original line of scrimmage, but it's going to bring up a 4th down and long. Let's say 4th down and maybe 8.
That was not Dancy, but I can't tell who caught.
Sinclair made a tackle.
Sinclair on the tackle.
I did not see who caught the ball for them.
Was the running back.
4th down and 9. Bessemer comes to the line of scrimmage, takes a snap. He's looking in the end zone, and there is pass interference.
Yep.
I don't think it was intentional, but the Gators did get tangled up. That will give them the automatic first down. No?
Not automatic first down.
Well, they get 10 yards though. They get a first
You
down.
have this to the goal.
Yeah. It'll be half the distance to the goal. Coming off the 14. So it should pick up 7 yards. They may still be short for the first down, but they'll still have 4th down. I think we were a little confused. I think maybe they were too, Mr. Ziegler. I think they're trying to make sure that they do it right. So they do step it up about 7 yards. It will be 4th down and a couple of yards to go. We'll say 3 yards. 4th down and 3. It looks like they have Summerlin in the backfield. Not sure if they will run or hand off on this play. Looks like they're going to hand off to Summerlin, and we hold them. We hold them 4th down around the inside the 10-yard line there, guys. And the Gators will take over on the inside their own 10-yard line. 1st down and 10. We're going to give Colton Dempsey credit for that tackle. Him and a host of his buddies in the orange uniforms. Go Gators. So Gators will start their first series of downs for this second half inside their own 10-yard line, leading 23-12. There's the snap. There's the fake handoff. And runner's gone, guys. Unless he may get caught from behind.
Oh no,
but he fumbled the ball.
Jackson Griner carries the ball across the 50.
Griner runs the ball down past the 50-yard line, but there is a turnover when he's tackled, and Bessemer will recover the ball on their own 33-yard line.
Give him credit for the run to the 40.
To the 40. This 40? Okay.
And then fumble and recovered at the 33.
So he gets a 50-yard run.
Well, Gators move the ball. He gets a 50-yard run, but we turn the ball over to Bessemer, who will once again have their second series of downs this second half, starting on their 33-yard line.
And the issue is going to be that the defense is still on the field.
And
They
that
got
is
no
correct.
break.
They got one play off, so that is tough. Let's see if we can't make something happen here. There's the snap. There's the handoff to Dancy off the left side. He dances around, picks up about 5 yards before he's brought down.
Who's down?
Here around the left end.
Trying to see that number.
6 on the play. Second down and 4.
That's more like 5 to me.
Did what?
They ran for 5.
You know what you got? You have Griner with at halftime.
92.
We're going to call this one second down and 5. Ball is on the
I can go back and check. I mean, I just
37, 38-yard line. Bessemer comes to the line of scrimmage.
I'll give
There's
you the
a
runs
snap.
at the end of the game real quick.
Passes out in the flats. Dancy makes a step. Should have been called at line of scrimmage, but instead he gets it down to the 50-yard line.
Ball run out to the 50-yard line.
And it'll be a first down and 10 for Bessemer on the 50-yard line.
Reception. Tackled by a couple of Gators. Out to the 50-yard line. First and 10 to the Rebels.
Sometimes I can't figure this thing out. It gave him a 60-yard run there. I know that's not right. I gotta look back at it and figure it out.
Bessemer comes to the line of scrimmage, 50-yard line, first down and 10. They have pretty much done nothing but throw the ball this second half. Hands back off to Dancy up the middle. Dancy picks up about 3 or 4 before he's met by a couple of Gators, led by number 13 of the Gators, DJ Jones.
Rebels run the ball up the field for about 4. Second down.
DJ, new to us from Brookstone School, transfer in this year. Glad to have him part of the family. So we'll call it second down and a long 6 from about the 47-yard line. There's a snap, and we're going to hand off to Dancy up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 6 before he's finally brought down. That will move the chains, give him a first down.
Snellgrove on the tackle.
Snellgrove
Brings up Bessemer.
giving credit for the tackle.
Yeah, I said he was the transfer earlier. I forget that he's got his cousin that came in, and BJ's been here at Glenwood his entire career. That was my mistake.
Bessemer comes to the line of scrimmage. There's a snap. Once again, he hands off, but it's not Dancy this time. He does pick up about 45 yards before he's finally brought down.
That's their senior backup fullback, Hunter Jacks.
Hunter Jacks, number 34, is the carrier of the ball. We're going to call this second down and give him about 5, second down and 5, and we have a timeout on the field. Will be a heat timeout. Well, we've seen a different offensive team for Bessemer, not for the good for us. Our defense hunkered down around the inside the 20 down there and actually held them. We've seen a great play by Griner to run at 50 yards but dropped it on the carpet, and Bessemer recovered it, and now they're driving the ball once again. So they made some adjustments, and hopefully we can make some adjustments here and to their adjustments and slow them down, get the ball back, and we have a few more plays like Griner had, but just hold on to it, we'd be okay.
I agree with that. You have to give them credit. They're making them earn the yards, but Bessemer's doing a much better job of controlling the tempo and moving the ball. So far, no points, but it is they are controlling the tempo.
Macy Fanning, Peyton Corbett, and Jim Ahead. Thank you for your hard work and dedication.
So when the Bessemer comes back to the line of scrimmage, it'll be 2nd down and 5 on about the 33-yard line. They've been successful this second half running the ball a little bit and passing the ball. So there's a snap, hands off up the middle. He tries to bounce it outside, but the Gators bring him down. See if we can see who that was that brought him down. That was Beecham, Ron Beecham.
Harrison was the running back. That's the first time he's touched the ball for him.
You know, Beecham is another one of those kids that was in the school last year, but he did not play last year. So we're glad to see him out. He is an 11th grader, be a junior this year, so. Brings up 3rd down and 5. There's a snap. He's going to roll out to the right. He's got a receiver right there at the 25 who catches it. Tackle is missed, and he is going to make it into the end zone for a touchdown. 3 missed tackles by the Gators allows him to get in the end zone. Brings the score to 23-18. Now, last time Bessemer lined up for a 2-point conversion. I think the way that they've moved the ball here in the second half, they're probably going to go 2-point conversion again. Don't look like they're lining up for a point after attempt. So they're huddling up. They will be going for a 2-point conversion here. Score is 23-18. There's a snap. He rolls to the left. He options it out. If we can tackle, we will make sure that he doesn't. So Ron Beecham misses the initial tackle in the background, but a host of Gators gets him before he can get around the corner. And Snellgrove and who else? Edwards and Snellgrove. I've heard that combination tonight a couple of times. 40-something yards rushing the first half, and they've probably gotten half of that this.
Well, actually, most of it's been in the passing game. Mm-hmm. They've got 38 yards rushing is all, yeah. But they've got. I can't total it right this minute. But he's already just about matched what he had in the first half passing.
Well, that drive was almost a 70-yard drive, somewhere around 70 yards. So here's the kick, and we're going to have a scribbler going to the second row, and we finally decide that we're going to dive on it, and that is Ron Beecham again. Takes possession of the ball. The Gators will start their series of downs here on the 33-yard line, their own 33-yard line. Gators getting their personnel on and off the field. Last time we had it, we ran it 50 yards and had a turnover. Let's see what we can do this time. We have a little misconception in backfield. We still pick up 2 yards, maybe 3. That was Robichaud on the carry. Made the best out of the situation. Mishandle in the backfield. Picked up 3 yards. We'll call it 2nd down and 7.
They got their heads hung down a little bit. I think it might be just a momentum type thing. If they'll just, run their offense and do what they did in the first half, they'll be okay.
There's a snap. There's a fake, and we got a flag.
It's gotta be on offense.
It's going to have to be against the Gators. Going to be an offensive movement. Offsides. Had to back us up 5 yards. Take the 3 that we had away. It'll make it 2nd down and 12. And as we say, it just gives us more room to play with.
Doggone it.
Just at 4 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. There's a snap. Reiner rolls out to the left. He's throwing the ball. He throws it out of bounds. No way to catch that one. That will bring up 3rd down and 12. Griner started out making some real good passes short, and we hadn't seen very many of those passes this 2nd half at all because we haven't had the ball that much. But even late in the 1st half, we didn't see a lot of those short passes attempts. So there's Gators at the line of scrimmage. Griner takes it, and we have a flag on the play.
Oh my goodness.
And that's from the back judge. Delay of game on the Gators. That will back us up another 5 yards. That will make it 3rd down and 17. Got to manage your time.
You're not going to win like this, that's for sure. But they overcame it in the first half. Now they can't do
Gators
shit
come
right.
to the line of scrimmage. Griner at quarterback. Robichaud in the backfield with him. There's the snap. Griner fakes. He's going to tuck it and run. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage before he's brought down. And that will make it 4th down, and Gators send in the punt team.
Well, they got their 5 yards, but the trouble is they needed a whole lot more than that this time.
Griner will be back to keep this one away. Bessemer set up around the 45-yard line, 40-45 to receive the kick. There's a little better kick than the last time Griner had a kick. Kicked it over his head, takes a bounce, hits the 30 and bounces down around the 22, 23-yard line. So Bessemer will take over on the 23-yard line. Be 1st and 10. And Glenwood needs to hunker down here in defense. Now.
On 23, Ron?
Yeah, that's what I've got. I've got it down on the 23. It gives him a 46-yard kick. That's a lot better than that 8-yarder he had in the first half.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
They needed that. They're giving them room now. The question is, can the defense, which seems like it's a little bit gassed, can just hold on and earn them a 3 and out. If they do that, that's going to be interesting because things are getting mighty tight now.
Looks like Bessemer calls a timeout.
Yeah, the clock is at 0, so I think they did that to prevent from getting the
2 minutes and 43 seconds left in the third quarter. Glenwood is still up 23-18. Bessemer has the ball on their own 23-yard line. And we have a timeout here. Now that was only our second punt of the game.
Right.
So we need to, we don't want any more punts. Want to prevent taking as many of those. We have had a couple of turnovers, so we didn't necessarily punt the ball away, but we did lose it by turnovers.
Well, the interception in the first half was so late that it was kind of
irrelevant.
But the that fumble after the big run, it looked like Glenwood kind of lost a little bit of an edge from that, and their defense certainly did. And they'd had to stay on the field. Let's hope they can get that edge back and get the ball back here.
First down and 10 on the 23-yard line of Bessemer. They take snap. He rolls out to the right. He's looking for a receiver, and he's wide open, but goes right through his hand. That was number 2, Will Farrell, the intended receiver. We'll take that one. I'll bring up second down and 10 for Bessemer. It seems like their receivers seem to be wide open. He's not having to make difficult passes. And of course their run after has been pretty hard on us too. We've not been bringing them down. So there's a snap. There's a pass out in the flats. And we hit him at the line of scrimmage, and yes sir, we hold on to him. That's number 19 of the Gators, Jay Sinclair, who meets Dancy around the line of scrimmage and holds on long enough to bring him down. That will bring up third down and 10. See what Bessemer has to dial up here on a third down and 10 deep in their own territory.
Big third down play for both teams. Big third down.
It sure is. If Gators can hold them here, we will be in a lot better position. Estimate maybe get the ball after a punt. If we could hold them here, might get the ball around 40. But it looks like Bessemer has called timeout. No, Glenwood. Glenwood calls timeout.
Seemed to be a little bit of confusion on the defense, and it is again a big third down for both teams. So they wanted to be sure about what they were in on the defense, and I can't say as I blame the coaches for that.
No better time than right now to make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's.
This had trips left, and we didn't have enough people out there to cover.
So. receiving that punt.
That has to be probably the best.
Just
Yeah, that's the best -2 return you've ever seen.
not sure if I'm on, but Gators
Well, that's-
take the snap and they hand off to Robichaud up the middle. Robishaw's going to pick up a first down and a bunch more. They're going to bring him down just past the, close to the 40-yard line. He's going to mark it at the 41-yard line of Bessemer. And it will be first down Gators. Big first down right there we discussed earlier. Holding them on that third down play, getting the ball all around the 40-yard line and making a run here. This is an important series of downs for the Gators.
And I'm back on.
I've got Ron back, so we're good to go, guys. And there's a snap. He hands off. No, he fakes it. Grinder's around the corner and he runs. He's going to pick up a first down and more. He comes all the way across the field and he's going to score, ladies and gentlemen. Touchdown, Glenwood.
I do believe Mr. Griner wanted to make up for that fumble.
Mr. Griner did more than make up for that fumble right there. That adds 6 points to the board, makes it 29-18 Glenwood's way. I'm pretty confident in this point after attempt. Looks like there's about 1 second on the board of this third quarter.
Right.
So we will start the fourth quarter off with the Gators kicking off to Bessemer in just a second. Garrett, snap, kick, and it's good. That makes a score of 30 to 18.
Kick off here in the third quarter.
You couldn't have asked for a bigger play for a guy that had made a mistake, and instead of tucking the head and not responding, he really came through on that run for
Well,
them.
if you remember on his run, he was being pursued and run down, and he was trying to stiff arm, and so I think he put himself in a bad position, which assisted in turning the ball over on the run. Well, that run, I noticed he kept the ball tucked away very well. Even as he cut across the field, he run off on the right side and cut all the way across the field and scored on the left side of the field. Big run by Griner.
Yeah, we are going to kick off still in the third quarter. That will probably be the last play of the third quarter is the kickoff play. But that's 2 big plays to hold them on the third down. And why he didn't throw the ball, I don't know, and I'm fine with it. And
We kicked that one deep, guys. How about that one? I don't think Bessemer was expecting to have that one kicked that deep. That was Ethan Crawl that kicked that ball deep. Ethan is a natural. He is a natural athlete. Let's just put it that way. But Ethan plays basketball. He plays football, but his main sport is soccer. Has played soccer. He is naturally from Australia and has been here at Glenwood a couple of years. I think this is his 3rd year here at Glenwood. But
before the season was cut off, he was the leading scorer in AISA in all divisions in soccer. Not surprised, I'm sure.
No, he's a true athlete. There's a snap, a handoff, Dancy up the middle. He's going to pick up about 5 or 6. He's finally brought down by the Gators. Gators are saying that there was a fumble, but I don't see any indication by the referees. That was number 3, Tate, carrying the ball. We're going to give him 6 yards, and that's going to be the end of the third quarter. We'll start the fourth quarter. Bessemer will be have the ball on their own 26-yard line, 2nd down and 4. Score is Glenwood 30, Bessemer 18. And you know, Ron, before the game, you were asking about, was Crawl going to kick the ball? And we have seen him kick it all night, but they've been pooch kicks. And of course, that was game plan. I think, you know, they were pulled all the way up to the 20-yard line. Their deepest receiver was around the 15, 20-yard line on that ball. That ball was kicked past them, no way for them to even receive it and return that kick. Once again, we'll remind you, most of these kids, even probably over on Bessemer side, are playing two ways. They're playing both ways. You have several kids doing that. And at this point in the ball game, in our good old southern hot temperature of August, it's tough playing both ways. You are exhausted. You're not half the individual that you were at the beginning of the game. We've already saw a couple of players go down with cramps. So Bessemer will come start this fourth quarter on their own 27-yard line.
Wow.
Second down and 4. Glenwood is hopefully keep their momentum. They're stacked at the line. There's a reverse. There's a reverse, and the Gators don't pick it up. He's going to pick up 10, 20, 30 yards, be brought down around the 50-yard line of the Gators. Nobody stayed at home on the backside.
Takes the ball across the 50-yard line into Gator territory.
They're going to mark it around the 48-yard line, 49.
25-yard reverse, and I tell you, I said before the game started that they have an offense that can move the ball, and it didn't look that way in the first half, but it's certainly, we're seeing this in the second half. And Glenwood's just going to have to play good defense.
Snap up the middle, but he's going to lose 2 yards on that one. They got a hold of Mr. Dancy before he can make a few dance moves. They're going to drop him 2 yards. It will be second down and 12. And mark the ball somewhere around the 49-yard line. Bessemer's on 49-yard line.
Those are the kind of plays that pick up your defense, though. I'm talking about morale-wise, not necessarily otherwise.
We most definitely need that right now. McDonald drops back to pass, and we have intercepted the ball.
It's got to be good.
Griner goes up and pulls that one down. So Mr. Griner is not let down on himself. He gets the ball, intercepts it, comes down with it around the 49-yard line of the Gators, and it will be first down and 10 Gators. So the Gators will have opportunity to put some more points on the board here early in the fourth quarter.
Well, the other one would be Crawl, but he's not, you know, he has no clue.
Griner brings the Gators to the line of scrimmage. The Gators going to hand off to the right, sweeping around the right. Harris tries to get around the right, but not before he's met by a couple of Bessemer players. He may picked up 2 yards. We'll call it second down and 8. We're going to mark it on the 49-yard line of Bessemer. So we do get the ball across the 50-yard line. To me, that is a mental. That is an important mental thing when you cross the 50-yard line.
Well, it got positive yardage too, and even though it wasn't their primary player as far as carrying the ball, it's somebody that's contributed solidly.
And off the Robichaud up the middle, he's got a hole. He picks up 6. He's 10. He's 12. He's still pushing the crowd. He may wind up with about 15 yards on that run, maybe 14. He runs it from the 49 down to the 35, 36 yard line.
So he wound up with 13 officially.
13 yards, and he drove the last 3 all by himself with a crowd. Might have had a little host of Gators pushing behind him too, but stayed on his feet driving. Gators come to the line of scrimmage at the Bessemer's 36-yard line, first down and 10.
They said he had put on a lot of muscle, and he certainly showed some muscle on that
He
run.
most definitely showed some muscle on that run. There's a snap. There's a handoff to Robichaud at the middle. He snaps it out. He's following his blocker well, and he's still going to pick up 3 or 4 even after contact. And he is down around the inside the 10-yard line on about the 8-yard line. That will be another first down for Mr. Robichaud.
For another Glenwood
28.
first down.
28 yards.
28 yards on that run.
Yard line. First and goal at the 8.
Gators will have first down and goal to go on the 8-yard line when they come to the line of scrimmage. Mr. Robichaud has pretty much driven us this far on his legs, and we fake it to Robichaud. Griner keeps it, and he takes it
Jackson Griner.
in for the touchdown, Gators. Gators put 6 more points on the board, making it 36-18 before Garrett Hall comes in for the point after attempt. Yeah, that's kind of a deadly combination there between Robichaud and Griner, so you just don't know which one to pick.
They picked the wrong one on that one.
They sure did. Mr. Robichaud kept them tight inside. He did a good fake up the middle.
Glenwood 36.
We have a timeout on the field.
37, excuse me.
So it is 37-18 with 8 minutes left. It is the 4th quarter, and the Gators are leading this game. Double the score plus of Bessemer. Not what I think I was expecting, to be honest, and I haven't done a lot of research. I had to ask you guys what Bessemer was ranked, but you're looking at the number 2 team, Bessemer, and the number 3 ranked team, Glenwood. So I would think that if things continue as they are right now, we may see a little change in those rankings this week.
Well, I assure you that Mr. McDonald, who has thrown the ball very well tonight, is going to be filling the air with footballs, I believe.
Yes, sir. So let's see once again, do we pooch it or do we kick it? Feels like we're going to kick this one deep. They're still up at the 15-yard line, and we kick that son of a gun deep. He's going to drop back and catch it in the end zone, so he can't bring it out. So that will put the ball at the 20-yard line touchback for the Bessemer. So they will begin their run on the 20-yard line.
Coach told me he could do it.
Do that every single time. That's a weapon in high school.
Yeah, it is.
When you can't return it out of the end zone.
Mhm. Just the fact that new high school rules of recent years, you can't return out of the end zone. If you have a kicker that can kick it into the end zone, that prevents the other team from even having an opportunity to advance it past the 20-yard line. So you always start them off deep in their territory. Bessemer will start on their own 20-yard line. I think Glenwood has got a little momentum, and they got their pep in their step back. There's the pass down the sideline, and he makes a juke, and he gets past him. And he is going to be brought down. He is going to be brought down by the Gators.
What's that football doing on the field?
Was that Cam that tripped him up? Cam Carpenter finally trips the receiver up on about the 25-yard line.
So he's down to the what?
Ron said it best, guaranteed
22.
that McDonald was going to come out throwing, and he did.
57 yards.
Perfect pass to the sideline to an open receiver who runs it down, avoids one tackle, and gets it down to the 20-something yard line. Bessemer comes first down and 10. There's a snap, and there's the handoff to Dancy up the middle. He picks up 3 or 4. Oh, that's Tyree Tate, excuse me. They're going to give him, looks like 2 yards on the carry. Be second down and 8. Gators have done a good job of holding them a couple of times.
Well, if they want to
Let's
run the
see
ball.
what we can do here. They hand off again back up the middle. He picks up 2 or 3 before he's brought down by a host of Gators. We're going to call it third down and 5. But we have an injured Bessemer player on the field. I believe it would have been Dancy, the
Yep.
running back.
He got 3.
He's getting up on his own, but he's hobbling off the field. Best of luck to him. Great athlete right there. Quick, fast.
What's the ball spotted on, 16 or 17?
I think it's the 17s. I
16.
16. So
Ball spotted on the 16-yard line. We'll call it third down and 5. Bessemer will come to the line of scrimmage. They have run the ball twice the last 2 plays, which is kind of odd to their MO for this second half. Let's see if they throw the ball or run it. There's a snap. It's a fake. He's looking to throw the ball. He's still looking, and he's got somebody in the middle.
How did he catch that?
And I'm not sure how he caught it, but he did. There was 2 defenders around him, and he went up somehow or another and come down with the ball. And that was a touchdown by Bessemer. Bessemer put 6 points on the board. That'll make the score 37-24. And they'll come in.
that's the guy that
And
caught.
they will be doing a point after attempt.
That is the guy that caught the 33-yarder too. That made that play. That was Will Farrell again.
Will Farrell reception on that. We'll make sure we call him out. That was one heck of a reception right there.
It looked for a minute like it was going to be an interception. I don't know who
I
was.
felt the same way, Ron. Point after attempt. There's a snap. There's a kick. And it is good. So that makes the score 37-25.
No sense kicking there.
That looked like 25 kicked it for them, but they ain't got a 25. It's got to be 23.
37.
So if they're the
They got a
question there
37.
was, why did they,
They got a
they've tried
37.
extra points the last 3,
It's 23.
2-point conversion the last several times they've scored. They've tried 2 points conversion. And so the question is, why did they kick there? They still got ways to go with 6 minutes and 38 seconds in this 4th quarter. But they have not been successful at their 2-point conversions. And so I guess they figured they might need to go ahead and take what they could get. Of course, they have had an extra point blocked in this game earlier in the game. So I guess that was their first successful
It is.
after
It is.
point after attempt of any.
They're-
Looks like Bessemer's lining up for an onside.